Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening. If you are watching a recording of this, you are going to want some props. I recommend, if you have one, a bolster is great, but you don't need one. Pillows, if you have a foam roller, that's nice, but couch cushions or pillows work great. Some blankets, maybe a rolled up blanket. You might want a blanket to keep you warm when we're in our yoga nidra piece. Our body temperatures tend to drop significantly when we're laying down that way. All right. So this evening, we're going to, this practice is actually focusing on our heart and lung and intestine meridians. So that is based on Chinese medicine, that there are energy meridians that run throughout the body and they work on them accordingly. And there's a lot of yin, there's all the yin yoga poses correspond to specific meridians as well. And I haven't done a lot of that until recently. We used to do a ton of this when I was in massage school, working with the meridians. And I find it fascinating. So I thought it would be fun to start doing a little bit of that. So again, tonight, heart and lungs and intestines, and I'll kind of let you know as we're going, what's doing what. All right. So to start, we're going to start in a child's pose with the twist. Now, if you have a pillow or a bolster or something like that, great. And if you don't, it's okay. All right, I'm going to show you what it looks like with and then without. So you'll bring your pillow in between your knees. My knees are wide. All right, wide knees. And then lots of moving about. And then you're going to bring your belly onto your pillow as well as your head. And I'm going to have you turn your right cheek on the pillow to start. But we're not going to be there long because you're going to actually come up. You're going to reach your left arm long and you're going to reach your right arm underneath. You're going to do a thread the needle type pose on the bolster. All right. So your right cheek is going to be supported here. Left arm can really just come down, or you can reach it up and bring it over to the right hip for more of a twist. All right, I'm going to take off some clothes here so you can actually see my body, what's happening. It's cold. We got like a weird little winter blast last night and today. So I am timing our poses. So just FYI, I'm not just, checking my messages. I am actually timing our poses if I can find my timer. No. So just hang out there. And then if you don't have a pillow, you're just going to do the same thing, but on the ground. Okay. Perhaps you've already done that because I took a little time to get that timer going. But left arm is long, right arm comes underneath the left, right cheek is on the ground. If you want more, if you're on the ground and you want more of a shoulder stretch, press that right hand into the ground and gently drag it back towards your body and you'll feel a little stretch in there. Now, if this is super hard on your hips and your hips are nowhere near your heels, that is not a big deal. That's very common. A blanket under them or another pillow, like a bed pillow, would be really nice. And it might feel nice anyway, okay? Just to have that little extra support. So child's pose with the twist, well, and without, actually is working all three of the heart, lung, and intestine meridians. And I'll talk a little bit more about those as we go through. And you can, hopefully by now you're already maybe deepening your breath a little bit, inhaling through the nose, maybe exhaling through the nose as well, or open mouth exhaling, sighing it out if that feels good. Maybe you're in a room all by yourself, you can make as much noise as you want, and that's okay. All right. So the heart, actually I'm going to wait until we switch sides to start talking about this and give you guys a minute. Because what we'll do is we'll, switch the twist and we'll switch the arm. So let's take 5 nice, long, deep, and even breaths here. Wherever you are, one more nice, deep, and even breath. You took 5 or you took 8, it doesn't matter, or 3. Release that right hand if you have the twist. Place it down on the earth. Press the left, I meant left hand, I don't know if I said that. Left hand into the earth. Press in and just reach that right arm out. All right, we're going to switch sides. So this time we're going to take our left arm underneath our right left cheek to the earth. If you'd like to take the twist on this side, right arm comes up to the sky, flip the palm, and then reach over to the left hip. All right. And again, if you're not using a pillow bolster and you're on the earth, you can drag that left hand back towards your body, the back of the hand. It'll just give you a little bit more of a shoulder stretch, but you certainly don't need it. So I am reading some notes that I wrote about the meridians because I was in massage school 30 years ago. So remembering this stuff, it's a lot. So the heart meridian governs, well, it governs a lot of things, okay, but it oversees the workings of our mind and body, they say. The rhythm of the heart is life giver, right? Makes sense. And in an unbalanced state, so like when your meridians are unbalanced, and the heart meridian in particular, it can show up as anger. It can show up as shortness of breath. You can have digestive issues. It can disturb your sleep. It can be related to depression issues. And it's very interestingly connected to our sense of taste. I found that really interesting. Now, when our heart meridian is balanced, we are active, we feel alive, we're full of vitality. Again, makes sense, right? The vital organ of the heart. So, obviously all those things, anger, shortness of breath, etc., could be attributed to other things, but often when the heart meridian is out of whack, that's what's happening there. So right now we're working on all 3, the heart, lungs, and intestines. About 5 nice, deep, and even breaths here. Wherever you are, one more. And if you have that twist to the opposite hip, go ahead and release that right arm. Bring that hand to the earth. Press the right hand into the ground and just reach that left arm through and come up to sitting on your heels. I'm going to go ahead and move my bolster out of the way. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose, which also works on the heart, lung, and intestines. And when I say intestines, I actually mean small and large. Just in case. We're going to come into a Sphinx pose. We're going to just be on the ground to start. And I'm going to give you a couple options for Sphinx pose, and I'll give you a couple angles. So you're going to come down onto your belly, okay? Your arms are at goalposts, all right? My shoulders are directly over my elbows. My palms are flat down on the earth. My fingers are spread wide. I'm going to press my pelvis and all 10 toes into the earth. Pressing the pelvis into the earth is going to protect that low back. You're going to take your hands, press them into the earth, and isometrically or basically drag them like you're almost pretending to drag, but you are getting a little movement, a little friction against your mat. Pulling your hands back towards your torso as you peel your belly and chest through. Okay, so you should feel this, even though it looks like we're doing absolutely nothing. We are, okay? I'm gonna give you another angle just so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm also gonna give you another option for arms, okay? So here's my shoulders over my elbows. My all 10 toes are pressed into the earth, pressing the pelvis, not straight, and I'm gonna pull through like this, all right? Another option is to bring the hands forward, palms together, elbows are off the ground, and you do the same thing. You pull the hands back towards you and peel your chest through. I'm not gonna lie, I preferred this one. This is like the traditional one that I have used over and over, and perhaps you have too. This, the palms together, I believe is an actual yin pose considered. So here, inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. And maybe we tuck our chins to our chest and we roll the chin over to the right shoulder. And then we bring it back down through center and over to the left. And we're just coming up halfway. We're not doing full neck circles here. We're staying in this front plane. And you can just do that back and forth if it feels good. And if it doesn't, stay right here. And if you're feeling this in your low back, come down a little more, okay? You don't have to come up so high. Remember to press the pelvis into the earth. This is like one of the most active poses we're gonna do this evening, just FYI. And if it's still too much, you come down into what's called crocodile pose. You stack the hands, elbows out wide, and you just rest your forehead on your hands, and that's called crocodile pose. Let's do 5 more breaths. One more breath wherever you are. And this time we'll all come into crocodile pose. So stack the palms, palms face down, elbows wide, forehead to the hands. Bend the knees, both knees, And windshield wipe your feet left to right. This will help release the low back. And then allow the legs to come long. Press into your palms and come up into a tabletop position. And then you can come to sitting on your heels. So we're going to come into a pose that's called a quarter dog. So not downward dog, but a quarter dog. And this pose is working on just heart and lungs, okay? So we're gonna come here into that tabletop position. My hips are over my knees, and I'm gonna bring my right arm, make sure you guys can see me, down. So it's parallel with the short end of your mat, okay? And you can grab a block. You may or may not need it, but you can rest your head on that block. Oops. And then reach the left arm out long. So your legs are in a tabletop position. Your arms are, just one arm is in a down dog position, and the other one is crossed, like we did in crocodile pose. And the block is to support your forehead if you need it. All right, so it looks like this. Or you come all the way down, and you can just bring your forehead to your forearm. Left arm is long, and you can come up on the fingertips of that left hand. So the lungs govern grief and the inability to accept things such as grief, and also letting go, right? The inability to let go of things. Embodies our power, our inner leader, and our inner protector, but also our inner bully. I thought that was really interesting. So when our lungs are imbalanced, no surprise, we have a shortness of breath. We spontaneously sweat. You may have bronchitis or asthma issues. You may have heart palpitations, and you may have emphysema. Interestingly enough, lung energy is at its peak from 3 to 5 p.m. And so they say that that is actually the best time to exercise. Now, I'm not going to call this exercise, but actual exercise. So all those early bird exercisers, maybe should be doing it at 3 to 5 p.m. and not a.m. So anyway, when our lung meridians are balanced, so again, I'm talking energetically here, right? This is the meridians. When the lung meridian are balanced, we are courageous and have reverence. And reverence is poignancy without despair. I thought that was a great way to say it. For example, we cry when we see something beautiful, right? How often does that happen? Well, apparently that means our lung meridian is working quite well. Let's take just 3 more breaths here, guys. When you're ready, 1 more breath. Really feeling those lungs, right? All right, bring that left hand in closer underneath your shoulder, uncross the right, and we'll just switch sides, okay? So left arm is coming parallel to the short end of your mat, block perhaps under your head. Right arm reaches long, and I'm up high on my fingertips here. And so I would encourage you in this space to really visualize the lungs expanding and contracting on your inhale and your exhale. And I always think about, without the lungs, without respiration, without air to breathe, we have nothing, right? Like that's the life force, the chi that that allows us to experience these bodies. How about 3 more breaths here? One more breath wherever you are. Release that left hand, or the hand that was long, and just come back to sitting on your heels. So it's a little bit different poses that I've done in this class before, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of mix it up. But now we'll get into like the juicy, what I consider the sort of the meat of things, the stuff that I really like, and that is hips and hamstrings. Because in this day and age, I don't know anybody who doesn't have tight hips or hamstrings. So grab your pillow, your bolster, whatever you may have. And I'm so glad that you guys can't see all the dog hair that's on me right now. All right, we're gonna bring our legs out wide-ish, as wide as feels comfortable to you, okay? So frankly, it can be here, all right? I don't really want it close together because that's another pose and we are gonna do that, all right? But we're gonna bring our pillow, our bolster, our block, that's what you're using tonight, perfectly, actually a really nice use of the block. You can even stack if you wanted to. All right, so we're coming into, this is called dragonfly, and we're gonna come into lateral dragonfly. We're gonna come over to the right, and you can actually even bring your pillow on top of your leg, but if you're using the block, you're just gonna put it on the inside of your leg, okay? We're gonna reach our right arm long, and left arm is just gonna come up and over, all right? So you're gonna feel a stretch in the left side body. And with yin and or restorative poses, we like to hold them for about 30, minimum 30 seconds to 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to hold this one for probably 3-ish minutes. So if the arm up is not feeling good, relax it. All right, and we're just going to bring our bodies over to the side. So we're not bringing our torsos forward yet. All right, we might get there. We're just gonna let it hang. And what I usually say is, bring it to that first point of resistance that you feel. Hang out there for a minimum of, 30 seconds to a minute. We're not at a minute yet. And then if you want to take it deeper, you can. You can lean in deeper. You can move the bolster out farther or farther down onto the ground. Any way that feels good to deepen it. So we're almost at a minute. So if that feels appropriate, you can do that, or you can stay exactly where you are. And if you were using the block, I'll just show you what that's going to look like. You could put both blocks here, have your arm on there. So it actually allows you to go in a little deeper. All right. Or if you're ready to go, you can grab the big toe. Really, you want your chest reaching up towards the sky, wherever you are. And so, dragonfly, heart, lung, and intestines. And large intestine is also governs the letting go or the not being able to let go, or acceptance of change, and is all about allowing us to surrender to the moment. Okay, so sometimes we can't let go and just surrender. And so when we're out of balance, that's typically why. Um, Physically, intestines, right? Constipation, abdominal pain, depression, excessive worry when the intestines are out of balance, and also sadness, loss, and fear. The time of day for the large intestine is apparently the 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. time. And when we're balanced, that's our best time for the intestines, 5 to 7 a.m. And we're willing to accept things and we're able to move forward. So that's what happens when you when you get your large intestine balanced. If you want to go deeper, you can for just 5 more breaths, and then we're going to move to the other side. One more breath. Hopefully by now, or perhaps, not hopefully, perhaps your breaths are beginning to get a little longer. The inhales and exhales. Slowly bring yourself up to center. We'll move our blocks and bolsters. Before we switch to the other side, we're going to bring our feet in. And just like we did laying down, we're just going to windshield wipe those hips. And so now when we switch sides, know that one side is often tighter than the other, okay? So it may or may not be the second side, but just know that that is totally normal. All right, we'll bring it back. Bring your pillow or bolster wherever you may, or your blocks. And we'll take the left arm onto the pillow. Okay, this is my tighter side. I can't go near as far. And left arm, or right arm, sorry, up and over, or it can just stay at your side. Okay, whatever is more comfortable. And I'm looking up at you, but if you want to turn your head down to look at your leg, if that feels better on your neck, by all means do that. And if you can, reach for that big toe. That's great as long as you're keeping your chest high. Okay, remember, we're not bringing our chest towards our leg yet, just the side body. And so with each inhale, maybe come out slightly, and then as you exhale, perhaps deepen in just a tiny bit. Sometimes that deepening, and we're not quite at a minute yet, so you can hold off on doing that, but sometimes that deepening is just a visualization. Sometimes it's a millimeter, sometimes it's absolutely nothing, and it's all correct. We're well over a minute. If you feel like things have softened, and they may not have yet, sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it takes a few minutes, okay? But if you have softened, you can go deeper. You can move your pillow, your bolster farther away from your torso. You can even actually bring the pillow underneath your torso to support you there. I didn't say that on the other side, but that feels kind of good to me. You're still filling those lungs, feeling that breath expanding your torso, your ribs. Five more nice, long, deep, and even breaths here. One more. If you have that right arm up and over, go ahead and bring it up and gently, very gently, pull yourself up to center. We'll do that windshield of the hips again, of the knees, left to right. And then we'll bring our legs out in front. So you want to move a little extra skin from that bum so that you're sitting on your ischial tuberosities, they're called. It's the bony protrusion at the bottom of the bum where the hamstrings connect. And it just allows us to sit up nice and straight and to protect our low back. We're going to inhale. We got our pillow, our bolster, whatever we're using on top of our legs. And we're going to hinge at the hips any amount. And you're going to allow your hands to either come to the bolster. And if you need more bolsters, like if you had a bolster or pillow, I keep saying bolster, but pillow, whatever you have, you could bring blocks because I want you to have your head supported here. Okay. So if your head does not reach the pillow, have something there so that it does. And hands can be on your pillow, on the floor, or you can even reach towards your toes again. And this time, as you're breathing, I'm going to invite you to bring that breath, to visualize that breath going into your low back and down your hamstrings, the back of your thighs, if that feels appropriate. Or if there's another tight spot that's calling to you, you can send your breath there. And when I say send your breath, I just mean visualize, because obviously the breath isn't actually going there. It's in the lungs, in the heart. You've been here over a minute already. If you think things are softening, you can take a block out, see if your head comes closer to your pillow, or you can move your pillow further away from your body and deepen in. Another opportunity to deepen this if you would like, or stay exactly where you are. Five more deep and even breaths here. One more breath. I'm going to slowly roll up. We're going to bring our pillow or bolster or whatever we're using, if available. And I'm going to give you the option if you have something like this. You very well probably don't have all this available to you right now, but I'm just going to show you that when and if you do, this is how we would set this up. I have my blocks and it's holding my pillow here. Okay, I'm going to show you without, just so in case you don't have this. All right, but this is a supported bridge pose. Okay, so my feet can be just here, or this is also, I call this like a goddess pose if I have my knees bent, but legs straight is just supported bridge. Fish, sorry, not bridge, supported fish. All right. However, we very well don't have this available to us. So if you have a block, you're going to just come down onto the block at the back and at the head. All right. And if you don't have this available, also okay. All right. And I'm going to straighten my legs here. Okay. Because this is a yin restorative pose, right? So I'm bolstering myself here. If you can see. One last option, if you have none of this available to you, we're going to just bring it into fish pose. Okay. And that is my hands are behind me, palms down, elbows are tucked in. Okay. See if you can see from the front. All right. You can't really see my elbows, they're tucked behind me. And my legs are straight and my back is semi-arched. All right. And I just have my chin tucked into my chest slightly. Full fish, the head would come back. But I want you, and that's why a block is nice here, actually. If you have a block, you can, sorry, I'm showing you a lot of things here, aren't I? But you can drop your head on the block. It's not exactly lined up properly, but you could see how that would be really supportive. So I'd actually say this is probably the best position for you because even at home, you could just stack up some pillows and support your head. All right. We're not going to stay here long. All right. But it's getting all three of those meridians. You can see how it would, right? You've got the heart, you've got the lungs, and you've got the intestines all right here, really exposed, shall we say. And if you don't have a block or anything, you just hold it here and you can let the neck drop. Again, if it feels comfortable, the pillow would be fine, or you can just keep it up. And here feels nice, honestly, comfortable. Show you what it looks like from behind. Let's just do 5 deep and even breaths here. One more. So option here to very gently, carefully push yourself up and engage your core before you do. Or you can release the hands, come to laying straight on your spine, actually, because that's where we're going to end up anyway. So we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to bring our feet onto the ground. Knees are high, feet are wide, knees are wide, so nothing's touching. And we're going to bring our arms to a cactus or a T, whatever's comfortable. And again, we're going to just windshield wipe those knees, left and right. And do that a few times until you're ready to land on the right side. So both knees are pointing to the right, but nothing is touching. Feet and knees are not touching. And you very well may be feeling this in the left hip, which is great. That's where we want you to feel it. But if you're not feeling anything, or it's just not enough, or you'd like more, the first thing you're going to do is reach that left hip down towards the front of your mat. Now, if you're feeling this in your knees, anything like that, you can put something under this left knee, okay? You can also put something under the right knee if it's too much on either knee, bolster, pillow, blanket. However, if you want more, you're going to take the right foot and gently place it on top of the left knee. And you're going to gently guide that left hip towards the front of the mat. And if you're watching, I'm just going to show options for bolsters. I put a bolster under my left knee and a block under my right. And that feels really nice and supportive, by the way. And just a reminder that yin yoga and holding poses for a long time is all about softening the connective tissue around the joints. And so that's why we hold the poses for so long, because the longer we hold, the softer it becomes. And if we put bolsters or pillows under there, we will actually get there faster if we take a little longer to get there. I know that's an oxymoron, but it's true. Three more breaths here. And then gently bring your knees up through center. If you have any props, you could just kick them out of the way. And again, windshield wipe left to right. And when you're ready, this time you'll land on the left. You can bring a pillow or bolster underneath the right knee and underneath the left knee if that feels good. Or if you'd like more, after you've reached that right hip down towards the front of the mat, and you still would like to feel more in that hip, you're going to take the left foot and place it on top of the right knee and gently guide the right hip down towards the front of the mat. And you should feel that there. You can actually still place a block underneath the left knee here as well, or a pillow, just for a little extra support. Five more deep and even breaths here. One more. If you have anything under your knees, remove them. Gently release that left foot from the right knee if you have it. Bring the knees up through center. And one last time, we'll windshield wipe the knees back. and forth. And then come through center. Hug the knees into the chest gently. Rock side to side on your sacrum, your low back. Well, they're not the same thing, but they're attached. And then let's inhale, curl into a tiny, tiny, tiny little ball. You're going to bring your knees in towards your chest, your forehead in towards your knees. And you're curled in so tightly that maybe you're on one or two vertebrae. And you're going to inhale here. And then your exhale, you're going to release our or legs long onto the ground and arms long, palms face up. And we're going to come into our yoga nidra. So even though you're laying here, I'm now going to invite you to find the most comfortable position that you can. If you're on the ground, which you very well may be, a bolster, a pillow, a roller underneath the knees is really nice. Something underneath the head, because a ground that doesn't feel hard all of a sudden will be the hardest thing you've ever felt. We'll be here for not very long, 10, 15 minutes, but your body temperature will drop. And so I suggest layering up if you had a sweatshirt or something handy when you first came, and maybe a blanket to cover yourself with. Okay, and I'm getting ready as well. So give yourself a minute or two here to find that comfortable position. And if you have never done yoga nidra, it's my favorite part. Yoga nidra, by definition, is yogic sleep. And I like to say that it's like Shavasana on steroids. But it is guided. It's a guided meditation. And the goal is actually, even though it's called yogic sleep, the goal is to not fall asleep. Very, very close, but not quite. All right. That said, if you fall asleep, it's okay. You're in the comfort of your own home. So this will be a guided meditation. We'll do a little guided body scan. I'm reading from a script, FYI. I'm just trying to find the one I wanted to use this evening. So this one is called Anytime Balanced Thinking. So you've done everything you need to do, ideally, to get as comfortable as possible, yeah? Check for any lumps or bumps of clothing, of jewelry, blankets, anything that might distract you. If you find anything, just go ahead and adjust them now. And scan your whole body, making sure you're as comfortable as can be. Your feet are relaxed, your legs, your hips, your back, your arms, your shoulders, your jaw, your forehead. Checking in and just making any further adjustments if it will help you to be your most comfortable. Feel yourself settling in. And now set aside anything that's happened before this moment. Setting aside anything that's happening after this practice. Bring all your awareness into this practice for the next few minutes. Setting aside for these moments to rebalance and reset. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, letting go. Letting go of any thoughts, any need to do. You're just being. This is your time for yourself. There's no goal, no destination. You're just experiencing peace. Make any final adjustments if you haven't already. Begin to experience the stillness even more. Know that you can, of course, move, but if it feels good, allow yourself to enjoy this stillness, this chance to do nothing. Resting just as you like. If it feels restful, allow these words to be received energetically rather than mentally, so that even the mind can rest now. In its place, there's effortless awareness. Feel all experience becoming more and more effortless, serene and effortless. Yoga Nidra has now begun. We will now begin the process of sweeping energy throughout your body, making energetic connections from point to point, like drawing electrical currents, beams of light, or any other way you experience energetic connection. Bring your awareness over to the right hand thumb, the right tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger. Drawing your awareness over to the left hand thumb, energetic current, beam of light, or any other way you like, to the tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger. Back over to the right wrist, and then the left wrist, the right elbow, the left elbow, connecting energy. Right shoulder, left shoulder, hollow of the throat, back of the head near the top, crown of the head, your eyebrow center, your right eyebrow, your left eyebrow, your right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, tip of the chin, hollow of the throat, heart center, right side of the chest, heart center, left side of the chest, heart center, navel center, tip of the tailbone, right hip, left hip, right knee, left knee, sweeping energy, right ankle, left ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Now, the whole right side of the body, the whole left side of the body, the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Welcome the whole body of energetic connections all at once. Now, become aware of the breath in the nostrils. Just as it is, no need to do anything. Simply be aware of the breath. Notice the breath coming in like two streams through the nostrils. Feel the streams flowing in along the floor of the nasal passages, and feel the breath flowing out. Streams of air flowing in along the floor of the nasal passages, and streams of air flowing out. Bring your awareness to your right nostril. Follow the inhalation through your right nostril, and as you exhale, feel it flow out through your left. Keep awareness on the left nostril as you inhale, and exhale, feel the breath flow out through the right. Mental alternate nostril breathing. Inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right for 1. Exhale through the left for 2. Inhale through the left, 3. Exhale through the right, 4. Keep counting this way up to 26. If you lose track, start again, no big deal. If you really lose track, you just breathe. Now, let go of the count. It doesn't matter what number you got to, or if your mind wandered, just let go of that count. Bring your awareness back to your heart center. Notice the heart center rising on inhalation, falling on exhalation. Bring awareness back to your body. Yoga Nidra is now complete. Feel your body peacefully resting. Feel the support beneath you. Notice the temperature of the space you're in. Notice the sounds. I'm going to invite you, because you are in the comfort of your own home, to stay here as long as you would like. When and if you are ready, you'll just begin to bring some movement, and you'll move very nice and slowly. I wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you for practicing this evening.